Hello, I'm Eagle, Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. And this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 816. Boy, this is gonna be a good one. More ganjas in the house. How you doing, my friend? You want to tell us how you're doing and where we can find you?
Doing good, man. Today was a beautiful day out in the gardens and in the woods, taking care of the farm. I'm up in northern Michigan, of Benzie County, right outside of Traverse City, in between Frankfurt area. Beautiful area I'm in, man. It's a homestead community, and that's what this area was founded on, was homesteads. The area that I'm in, right around the corner, we got an apiary, a bee farm, which has like developed themselves into one of the local area big attractions. They have a meadery now with uh like a barn that they do uh weddings and receptions, and they just been building, and they brought a lot of great area or great uh communal efforts and people together in this area. And I'm glad to be right down the road from them, within a block, and just building my farm up, and you know getting to the point where I can serve the community with my farm goods. We're bringing lots of heritage, homegrown hog meat to the table for the community to enjoy. By They can buy it by the half or the whole hog. I do offer a little bit by the packages too, like single packs, to get a little taste of it. It's not like really my big thing to do just single packs of it, because it's paying for a lot of it out of my pocket that way, like the butcher fees and then the steps of doing that. So it's great to take a big chunk out of it when people can buy it by the halves and whole hogs.
Right on, right on. I got to meet you firsthand at the Gems and Genetic event there a couple of weeks ago. Happened to stumble on you guys' food truck there and got to try some of your one of your brats and some of the bean soup. I love bean soup, and man, I'm telling you what, that bean soup I got from you, man, it's one of the best bean soups I've ever had, man. That shit was delicious and fucking super filling. And shout out to you for cooking an awesome bean soup, man. Really,
Yeah, that's one of our staples.
yeah.
Every event we try to put that together, and we're just getting it better each time. The base that starts off with is our smoked ham, signature smoked ham. It's a nitrate sulfate free, no no like sulfates that are heavy salts. So that's why it's not salty in the taste of it all. We go with a brown sugar, and it's a vegetable juice and celery powder brine instead of an EQ, they call it. So it's not salty, much healthier for you. So we start off with that by putting that in the crock pot the night before, breaking it down, getting that whole ham to fall apart in there. And then we put the hocks that are smoked also in with it too. And then we put that in the big pot with all the dried beans, the lentils, the 16 beans it is, carrots, onions, celery, and good seasonings, man. Good to go.
It's fucking delicious, my friend.
So simple to do. It really is. I mean, if you soak those dried beans overnight, they just fall apart the next day, and it just gets better for a few days after. Especially when you build or make big batches like that. But I can't believe that we went through that one so fast. That was like at least 4 gallons of good soup. That was a pretty darn batch. It was a big batch, and we went through it quick. So people loved it.
Well, one of the reasons I do this show is to spotlight fucking awesome people in the community and get to know them a little bit better. And I've actually heard about you and sampled your product now for I'd say over a year. I initially uh tried some of your cannabis. I think it was the Day Slayer, I want to say.
Yep.
And it was pretty damn good. And that was back at Big Clouds, one of the Big Clouds event when Mendo Dope was there. And so I think that was like a year, maybe two now. Fuck, time passes by pretty quickly. So that was when you kind of first came on my radar, and I heard a little bit about you, and I was like, I tried. I was on the trail then to get you on the show, but life happens, and sometimes the list gets jumbled around. But I was very glad to catch you this weekend. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing your story. We usually started off here in the beginning, right from the beginning, figured out why we do what we do, right through, if we can get there. So when was the first time you either used or seen the plant? What started it all off?
To go back to like talking about the Day Slayer before I lose my train of thought on that. That's like a full circle too. Uh, like since the first one where I met you, where you consumed that one, I like stopped growing the Day Slayer for a while, and then finally got new cultivar beans of that back through Happy Little Trico at a next event that had the Mendo Dope Boys there, and I actually got to meet Happy Little Trico for my first time at there because I was following him for quite a while also, and I just love that Day Slayer. I mean, it's like got such a very unique floral complex terpene that's unlike any other strains that I've ever found out there. And it's I can't think it's like a happy sunshine daydream hippie slayer cross that he created. And it's just so sweet and funky and just aromatic floral. And I just got it going again. I got two females of it out in the garden right now. So if you like that one, we'll definitely be able to consume some of that in the next, say, 6 to 8 months down the road for sure.
Right on. That was good stuff. Happy Trico's been a past guest. He's done his time on the show as well. You know, I've been blessed to meet a lot of great people through this process.
That's what's so great about the Instagram community I found alone, that everybody's just like building and networking and just like creating a great space for the most part and helping each other out. People doing their own thing and just building, it's awesome. The people that I've met in the last 2 years is just crazy that I've never thought that I would ever meet in my lifetimes.
So I guess back to the question, my friend. Where does it all begin?
Uh, I was originally born in Flint, Michigan. Lived there for a few years, and my parents uh, got everything together and finally moved up to northern Michigan here, Benzie County. And I was like 5 years old, somewhere around there, and started going to school up here and been up here, graduated high school in Benzie County, and then moved out west for a while. Um, did my time doing college out there and building cars. And my career forte is collision refinishing, painting cars, fabrication. So I really have a passion for welding and doing just building of, taking something stock and just building it into something really cool. Uh, and I went out there for a while, had a job out in Nevada for a couple years, and then my dad passed away, so I come back here, take care of my parents' property, and just took it over from my mom, paid off the whole property, and has just been building it into my own farm and just building it up. It's just amazing, like how far that I've pushed it from the original piece of property that it was. That's my drive every day, is just to make it better and just create a bigger, better space for the animals and the farm, and keeping it clean, regenerative, and just a full circle of being able to use the animals as building from sand soil to something very viable to create sustainable fruits and vegetables.
Pretty awesome, my friend. And then that is to me the dream myself. Kind of carve out that piece of land, be a little self-sustainable there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cheers to you for that. I appreciate you trying to keep things local too, as far as, meat and everything else.
Yep.
We need to support each other. COVID, if anything, should have been uh, a lesson in supporting the local guys, the local whole system there.
Yeah. Because I all through that, I'm definitely here to provide and make sure that people are fed. At one time, like at right now, if I had to butcher all of my animals, I could, fill at least 100 people's freezers. That's taking care of quite a few people.
That is. That's a lot of people actually. So when did cannabis come into your life? What was the first time that you used the plant?
It had to be in my like early teens, 12 to 14 years old, somewhere in there. Uh, Definitely like grew up around it. My dad and mom consumed, but not like openly. So I definitely knew what that, the smell was and all that. But my buddies and I, my buddies trying to get in it from their parents, kids being kids, smoking your first bowls. I don't know. It's just always been a part of my life after that. I love it, man. Everything about the plant's amazing. It does such a beneficial thing for like my internal uh pain wise of being able to keep me in consistent movement of not being just like locked up. I don't know what I would do without cannabis. I would be bedridden, I would say.
I'm a lifer myself. I've used it nonstop since I'm at least 14. I started a little bit earlier than that, but it's been a staple for sure.
Hmm. And it's like
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
built it's built different type of like beneficial aspects throughout the ages, like what you used it for at first. First it was recreational and then it became more medicinal. And the more that I use it and the more that I dive into the uh, cannabinoid aspect of the plant and the terpene, the science part of it, it gets much more medicinal.
I agree. I agree. So what was the one of the initial things that drew you in? Was it just kind of the recreational side or hanging out and feeling good with your friends, or did you kind of find like it to be municipal, right off the bat?
uh, at first definitely I used it as like a recreational, as like more of a drowned out my like daily lives of like working and just party, you know what I mean? And then more so as in injury wise of things, I definitely got it more medicinal for pain. I've broken my neck and I got bulging herniated discs in my neck and my lower back's pretty messed up. So the oils and the topicals really helped me that way. But the smoking too really helps like go down into the core and the fibro aspects of the like nerve endings. So I make some salves and some oils, coconut oil based, decarbox my flowers, grind it down, and use it as coconut oil base with a bunch of other herbs and salves. And it really helps out the joints. Broken my ankle several times, messed up my knees a lot. Just beating the shit out of myself through years of just having fun. You know, guys being guys. I love being a extremist of getting that adrenaline junkie stuff, snowboarding, hitting jumps and dirt bikes and cage fighting. Did that for a couple of years. That shit was fun as hell.
That's pretty awesome. That's two cage fighters in a row. Last night's guest was a cage fighter too at one point. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, it's a rush, man, just to get in there and fucking, be the center of the octagon, and you know that it's do or die. You're either gonna get your head smashed in, or you better put theirs out.
That's pretty fucking awesome. So
Probably
how
wasn't good for my neck. I'm sure that's my neck's pretty jacked from all that shit, like the headlocks and just ramming my head into the cage and into the ground, doing all the shit.
that was kind of my fucking next question there. You said it so nonchalantly, like it fucking yeah, I kind of broke my neck. And so how the fuck you break your how'd you break your neck, brother?
Snowboarding, just being extreme, doing extreme flips, backflips, and twists, and all that kind of shit. I did instructing high level snowboarding, off road or like rails and all that kind of stuff at the local resort here. And then out west, when I went to college, I was instructor out there in Laramie, Wyoming, backcountry. So shit was awesome, jumping off cliffs out there. And that was like the most epicest snow I've ever been in my life, like right outside of Colorado. So that was like a big influence also, like the herb that I got out there through college, 21, 2003. Weed wasn't legal here, but it was in Oregon medically, and Colorado was just on the cusp of passing. And dude, being in college in Wyoming, right in the center of Oregon and all that shit, dude, the weed that we got there was unreal, man. Like two toke stuff, and you just like it was so crazy how high that weed used to get you. I don't know if it was the elevation too, or just the way it was growed.
That's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, that's at one point I always kind of dreamed to go out there to do that kind of stuff, but never made it out that way. For snowboarding is one of them things I never seem to take up for one reason or another, but it always looked like a good time.
It was like a second nature for me. My mom was uh, head of the housekeeping at a local resort, the Homestead Resort. I kind of grew up, learning on the hills over there. They're like right on Lake Michigan, overseeing like Glen Arbor. So I'd be able to go on the weekends after school, go there and, get free passes and stuff. And then I'm in between another resort. So I just grew up second nature snowboarding since like fifth grade. I started and just passion and love it. I didn't get to go at all this last winter though, but just gardening, man, and being so involved in my garden now, and the way that I feel after the couple of days of snowboarding and the falling and stuff like that, man, it's almost not worth it for me now because, dude, I hurt bad now after those days of going for just a trip.
Oh yeah. Do you remember what kind of what you were smoking back them days?
Hmm. In college, I'm sure it was a lot of headband. Uh, Definitely some OG Kush. It was like the beginnings of the sour diesels and all the really good, beginning lineage before we started having all these crosses. Them guys in Cali and Oregon, man, were growing some fire out there. I think Michigan's caught up in a little bit of the ways of that because we mimic them so much. And that's where I learned all my style of grow is just watching nothing but Cali videos. And that's my style. I mean, most people, my nickname in the area is Cali Dave. I grow some monster Cali style trees, man. A passion. I try not to grow them too big, but they something about it, the way that I feed them, and the bigger the pot sizes, they grow into monsters.
Hell yeah. That's Could be a worse reputation right there. Who doesn't want to be known for growing monsters? That's for sure. So when did the growing bug hit you? When and why did you start growing?
Uh, to provide myself with my own medicine, number one reason, because I didn't like the way that everybody else that I knew grew. They all grew off synthetics and salts. And I just don't like that taste and that flavor of that grown herb and what it does for my uh, medicinal aspect. I would say the synapse and the high that it makes you feel wise. My herb doesn't make me cough. It doesn't make me want to be couch locky and lazy. It makes me want to be uh, progressive and motivational and get up and get things done and just always be thinking of bettering my process of daily chores and building into the next step of serving the people.
Well, you want to tell me about that? A little bit about that first grow? What did you grow the first row? Seed, clone?
I definitely started off of clones from other growers at first until I figured out like getting some good genetics of not like popping bag seeds. Because most bag seeds, if it's not truly cultivated right, a lot of stuff is hermaphrodites. Um, Sometimes, you know what I mean? You can get some good herb off of it. Sometimes it always could be airy or just doesn't smoke right, taste right, doesn't just isn't it isn't there. So getting some good genetics and clones really like push you into knowing what's up, what quality is once those pheno hunted genetics get put in your hand, okay, these guys are doing something right. You want to ask questions and see how they're doing things and taste the flavors.
Right on, right on. So what strains what kind of strains do you prefer? What works best for your pains? Most people suffer or you tend to use cannabis for pain. So
I
what
u- I try to mix it up, man. Everything is like try to get a little bit of all of it throughout the day. At one time, I'm usually cultivating, between 10 and 20 different strains. So all through the day, I'm consuming different cannabinoids. Some with CBD, some with high CBN, some with high THCs. I try to not to be like on the THC side of things. I try to keep it more well-rounded so that it's just not so compiling down on me that I can, keep moving and get things done. So I mix a lot of my herb. I'll just like take a few different strains and put it together and just mix it up. I definitely always want to feel it in my eyes, like that pressure. You want to feel eye pressure when that's how I know like my level of like being able to dull out that nerve damage and that nerve pain. I'm not thinking about it. The pain's still there, but once that eye pressure is hit and you're in your zone, the pain doesn't really matter.
you want to go in and tell us a little bit how you're growing those big old trees?
I like to grow off of a super soil of years of building it with uh, manures base wise of like rabbit manure, worm castings. That's gold. Number one, worm castings is everything to me, and then uh, your your guanos of like your bat guanos and uh, uh, lots of molasses. I use chicken manure, just anything and everything that I have around here that's fungal and microbial based of uh, beneficials for the plants. I use a lot of down to earth products, as in like the fish, uh, fish meal, bone meal, kelp, uh, mycos and azos. Just keep a diverse uh, regimen of NPKs throughout the plant's life cycle.
Are you starting them from seed or taking clones outdoors?
Um, did both. I have 3 strains right now of clones growing. My number one that I really like a lot is the Pre 98 Bubba Kush. I actually got that one from No Till Zone. They won the flower, I believe. I'm not sure which place, but they won with that cut of that Bubba Kush Pre 98 at the uh, I think it was like the New Year's Mendo Dope party there that we had in Niles. I got that cut, and then I have also Kamoji's Capri Sun and Yahemi from him, as in clones, and then everything else I have is all from seed that I'm pheno hunting. Mostly Michigan breeders, uh, couple of, around the country also breeders. Mendo Dope strains. I have 3 other cultivars. One that I'm really excited about because it just reeks is the Hetty OG. They mixed that their Nick B OG cross with uh, I want to say Chili Verde. Uh, I'm excited to have some flavors, some new ones in the garden this year. That's I always try to mix it up every summer, just get different seeds and try new things. Some staples that I like, definitely fall back to the Day Slayer for sure.
What are you smoking tonight?
This is a mixture of, I call it the salad. It's the daily salad that I threw together. It's got some Three Gods, which is a cross of like 8 different strains that my buddy created of out of a lot of like uh, OG strains, crossed with garlic breasts, and then I mixed in some Black Royal Kush, one of Line Rising Farms creations, and that's got a really heavy, like piney, like just super pine gas flavor. So that really punches through on the flavor of everything else in there. And I want to say probably got some Charlotte's Web mixed in there too. I had some of that on my tray. Try to smoke one of those first thing in the morning. Uh, I really like the flavor of the Charlotte's Web. I was surprised actually how great of a flower smoking that is for like, especially like a breakfast weed. It's very fruit and like floral, definitely on the fruity side of like berries and raspberry flavor. And it was a great growing plant. I was like super surprised for it being known as just a oil production for epileptic seizures, how well it was actually for a smokable flower. So this definitely has like more of a floral note to it, but still spicy and piney. most of all my stuff has like a cinnamon spice, kind of spicy note. Mostly because the way that I grow heavily with the uh, worm castings and just all the molasses and the microbes, and just the way that I grow is just heavily like spicy and oily.
Do you grow mainly indoors, outdoors, both?
Both. I prefer outdoor for sure. I love the sun. I just love being outside. The indoor lifestyle of it being cooped up in a barn or a shop or a grow indoors is just, it's not my style. I like the sun beating on me and sweating. I like think it's like a testament of your daily being to make sure that you put on a sweat each day.
What kind of differences? That's why I kind of asked if you were growing from a seed or clone. Which do you see differences? Do you see side by side outdoors?
Uh, Definitely structure wise of the plant, more vigor through the seed, for like your tap root. Uh, a seed plant produces a tap root, where a clone plant more produces like branches and uh, finger rhizosphere, and you can get some monster stalks on those. Well, on both, but on my seedling plants, man, I've definitely had stalks that were like that big. And I mean, dried flower. My biggest plant was a sour OG, and dried. I had like over 5 pounds of dried flower on that monster. That's pretty big for northern Michigan, I would say.
What are some of the better strains you've grown up that work best for you outdoors up there?
Hmm. It's definitely the early finishers for sure. We get a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture. Uh, in between the lakes, we get such a different climate up here. So it stays warm, but it's very humid too in the fall and wet. Always rains, cold in the fall. So you want to find stuff that's definitely done early, before October's hitting. So trying to find them, 65-day finishers, 7.5, 8 weekers is key. I'm really impressed with some of the stuff that's coming out of Spain. Um, Delicious Seeds. I was really impressed with both their strains, the 11 Roses and the Golosa that I got from them last year. That Golosa, man, I've never seen anything that hit 8% terpenes in the uh, rosin form. And tell you what, that shit slaps. It's a blueberry crossed with a grapefruit. I did a dab of that a little while ago, and it's pretty heavy. Like it.
It sounds pretty delicious, to be honest with you.
Delicious Seeds, man. It's I think you can go right on their site and order from them. They're killing it. They got some. It's like old school style terpenes. It's not the newer cake stuff.
Mhm.
Spicy.
I appreciate the variety. I'm the whole breeding thing to me. I'm pretty opinionated about, to be honest with you. I appreciate the breeding of strains. I just believe that hype plays too big a role into breeding, and it's gonna bland some shit out for sure.
Yeah, especially when it's leaning towards the THC side of things, like just chasing like THC levels.
Yeah, that's not the medicine. At one point, in the, it is medicine, but it's not the medicine. You know what I mean? I think it's taking away more from a whole medicine. To be honest with you, the chasing of the high THC numbers. There's value in them, the higher terpene value. To be honest with you, I think.
Yeah, it needs to be more well-rounded, a good flavor aspect to the cannabinoids and the terpenes. Everything plays an aspect, not just the THC. That I definitely get more a medicinal aspect of a longer high off of something that's in the 20, 22, 25 is like it's in the 25s, like, that's even still really good. That's heavy THC on a flower. Stuff that was like in the 18s to 20s, like the headband, back, you know, years back, that stuff got you rocked. Uh, Chem Dog, those are some of my favorite strains of like that super OG, funky, chemi, myrcene type flavor.
Who are some of your favorite breeders? Who
Definitely got to give a shout out to Subcool, always the legend, man. That's where I really started off with growing a lot of his strains out. I've grown Kaboom, uh, Dairy Queen, 9 Pound Hammer, to Corkle, on and on and on. He's just a legend in the game, man. As Mendo Dope Boys always give him the shout out.
yeah, definitely
Miss Jill keeping the keeping it all alive too. I haven't got any seeds from them recent. I've just been getting so much Michigan breeders, but I would definitely like to look back into their catalog and see what they have to offer right now.
think it's pretty damn cool that you're supporting the local breeders, just like the local people. It's awesome to smoke and to support the local breeders, cool people around you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Country Roots, I'm running his soil, and a lot of his amendments also. Uh, he has a cross with Smoking Storks that they did of uh, Breath of Michigan crossed with his Don's Breath. And that Don's Breath, I don't know if you ever have smoked any of that rosin, but it's one of the most funkiest, gassiest rosins that are out there, man. It's like so side by side to the Big Cat for me. I don't know. Have you ever had Big Cat OG?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, that it's so funky and gassy GMO, and that's it's right there with that. I'm growing that of his the Don's Breath they call it now, and that's I'm really excited to grow that. It's from seed and it's going to be in his soil too, so that's going to be something special to be bringing that in flower and rosin form in the next year. It's funky, man, and it's gas. Um, I got a lot of Rising Moon medicinals reeds too. He's got a Sleeping Bear. That's like a sour OG, I think. Um, I got a few strains from him. So much Michigan breeders, man. Awesome. Lime Rising Farms, uh, Salvesa. I don't know if I say it right, or it's his town that he used to live in. It's Topanga Sassafras. I got also. That was something super special too. It's got root beer terps. That was the first strain I've ever grown that actually had a sassafras, vanilla, root beer terpene, and it really comes through in the rosin form. It's really awesome to like uh be able to build up to being able to produce the rosin too. I haven't been able to bring that to the people. I got to give a shout out to Ohana Farms. He washed all of my crop this winter, every single one of my strains that I grew last year in the garden, all the sun grown. We did the duck comfy last year from Nick Line Rising Farm. That's the Big Cat OG crossed with a grape cream cake from Terp Wizard, which I have a few other his strains also too. His Grabana, that's the banana OG crossed with grape cream cake. Also, he had 3 different strains that I grew last year, all crossed with his male of that grape. And the Grabana, that one is the highest testing cannabinoids that the labs tested, and they of the rosin form. And they called me back multiple times to tell me how amazing that was. That it's 93 point something percent cannabinoids on that strain. It's definitely the banana OG. You know what I mean? The banana is very strong in that, but then you got that grape flavor also. So it's a really medicinal, awesome flavor. For me, it's very uplifting and creative, and it like just makes the day very sunny, and it just smells, super banana, grape, citrus, funky funkiness. It's super good rosin, man. I like it. I'm gonna be bringing that to the form of putting that in some rosin, disposable rosin cartridges here in the next year or two, so that it'll be a little bit more convenience of not having to be able to just hit the dab rig, busting the torch out. Because I know a lot of people like the conveniency of just being able to hit the pod.
For sure, for sure. Dabs are always good, but when you're sitting at the park with a torch, you get a lot of fucking funny looks.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking man, yeah. I'd still smoke everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere. I'm consuming cannabis. I'm in northern Michigan too, so you know, great area to fucking smoke some weed on some back roads, some dirt roads, check out some sunsets.
Yep.
Northern Michigan's some beautiful country for sure. So I guess I couldn't believe that again, you seem so calm to be like a cage fighter and shit like that. I would have never guessed, to be honest with you. Is it just the cannabis? I mean,
Cannabis definitely has calmed me down and recentered me quite a bit and taken away, some of my aggression.
right on.
There's
Because
still a warrior in there for sure. When people look at me and be like, "Oh, he's just a hippie," I just smile.
nothing wrong with being a hippie, that's for sure.
Yep.
Uh, hardworking people. Um, fuck, I brain farted there for a second. My bad. Uh,
Yeah, cannabis has definitely changed my whole attitude and lifestyle.
that's
Being able to and not drinking. I'm 5 years sober now. Uh,
on that.
Cannabis and I would say psychedelics definitely has changed my whole mind process. Uh,
So you kind of mentioned earlier a little bit like the municipal side of growing is actually the cultivation side. Uh, you find that to be true? I've learned a lot about myself through the trying to do better in the plant. You know what I mean? Putting thought into the soil, discovering what the microbes do and shit like that. It's
that,
kind of a journey into the soil is a journey into the soul in a lot of ways, man.
yeah, you're feeding not only the plant but your soul too.
Uh,
I, f- I focus on feeding my soil, not the plant. It's all about having a healthy ecological system down in there in the soil media and not really focusing on the plant itself, because it'll tell you if it's happy in that media and everything's living down there and working in symbiosis.
So, do you have any tips on how do you cultivate your plant, the monsters? Are you like a multi-topper? You know,
Yep,
both.
definitely. For seed wise, femming them right off the bat within the first few weeks of getting your first couple nodes on, femming them out and starting to branch them out, and LST, low stress training them, bending and topping, and definitely pinching. And then once you're being able to bring them up to starting to cut clones, just reading the tops of the plant and trying to decipher the way that you want it to look in the end stages, because you can really structure and uh, create the plant in the way that you see fit, like as in the style, like as in if you got low ceilings or high ceilings, is the more that you uh, manipulate the plant, you can put it in areas that you couldn't if you didn't manipulate it right. I definitely grow more sativa style plants outdoor than I do indoors. I like to play around with the sativa ones that they're not going to really finish out, but it's just fun to grow some stuff. I think well, it's been 2 years now. I did some South African KwaZulu. That's like 100% African Swaziland sativa. That was really fun. Stuff looks like fireworks. That you know what I mean. Just goes off. It's just like so long, spindly branches. Really cool to see the different like styles of plants that grow differently in different hemispheres of the world also.
How do you go about drying your cannabis? You a hang dryer?
Yes, definitely. I like to hang dry most of the whole plant if possible, being able to get that root zone even pulled up and washed off, so it's nice vibrant root ball, being able to use that root system to grind that up after it's nice and dry, for other stages of tinctures and salves and other types of uh, if it's got a use it. Um, and hanging completely upside down with all attached except for the fan leaves, pinching all and cleaning all your fan leaves, and mostly leaving it for a while till it hangs and snaps. I get to it as I can, I mean, especially with outdoor, you're going to be trimming for quite a while, depending on the help that you got. And I like cured, I like nice, long, slow, cured, climate controlled in the dark, 60, 60 or less, as in like temperature wise, nice, cool, and nothing like too dry, nothing too wet, just staying on top of your humidities and your coolnesses, and just watching in the way that you're curing and tasting and sampling all throughout that curing process. I definitely have sample jars of stuff that I've had around for like 5 years that I could still like break a jar out, smoke some stuff that, I mean, it's different. It's got a whole different cannabinoid complex compared to when you first picked it in that first year.
I definitely believe it takes a couple of runs to bring out the full profile from seed. 100%.
Almost definitely. Yeah, the more that you cut the clones off of that mother and in each stage and each process, they definitely get more vibrant. You work with them, bring some of the terpenes out.
I think it's pretty cool that you utilize as much as you can out of the plant. There is so much that can be used on the plant, 100%, all of it to be exact. And I think it's cool that you're using the roots as in your salves and stuff. It has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties that a lot of people leave out or don't bother with. I actually seen a thing on Vice Thailand, where they were cooking with roots. They were selling them. They were like expensive. They were like it was like I want to say 800 a kilogram or something like kilo, 800 kilo for roots. They were selling to the chefs, and it's like their secret ingredient in all their food. It said it made like all the seasonings or all the flavors just pop. But yeah, it's like all the rage in Thailand right now. That's like their secret ingredient. It's
Especially if you're growing hydro style, you got clean roots right off the bat. You know what I mean? Especially if it's, and I'm sure they probably have some type of way that they're growing with organics, maybe tilapia runoff. I'm not sure, but it'd be cool just to, you know, see that process off. Check that one out.
you want if you, I'll send you the link for that Vice episode if you want.
Heck
Pretty
yeah,
cool episode. Man,
yeah.
all in all.
I like watching them. I haven't watched any Vice in a while, but I definitely like watching some of their documentaries. Wild, man. You learn so much off there.
So kind of like in a weird, I would just kind of hit me too, kind of in like a weird kind of full circle way. You're using cannabis as a, like I don't know, is it a secret ingredient in a kind of way? I mean, it's I've heard you feed your cannabis leaves, your shade leaves and stuff to the pigs. Do you
Yeah.
find it's added something to the flavor of the meat?
Um, I wouldn't say that it like gives a flavor, but I think it makes them much more happier. Like they just like they know, and they when it's that time of year and I have an abundance of leaf, they just love it. Definitely they love it. I'll just say that it makes happy. I got lots of that makes happy hogs.
Right. That's pretty awesome, by the way. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean it's a full circle of that being able to clean up scraps and odd and ends that wouldn't be beneficial, used as other things. It's a process for sure. I've been moving them out in the woods, and I just fenced off a whole nother like I have three pens going right now, like butchered size, ready to go hogs. My breeder boars, I have two, one younger one that's probably about a year old now, and then one that's like 2.5 now, and he's like 500 plus pounds of like solid monster, like pure muscle. Is crazy, just shredding my fences. I've been having to reinforce all my fences where he's at because he's just trying to go through everything to get to the girls that are in heat, and putting my other ones into another pen beside him. I got 8 acres total, and uh, half of it solid trees, maples and underbrush. So I just been slowly fencing off my whole entire property and just letting them clear all the underbrush as they go and open it up and uh, clean the land for say, as in anything that they find, like they just unearth odd and end things, scrap metals and all types of stuff that have been buried through the properties of years and years and farm use, I guess. Uh, so I'm just moving them along in different areas, and it helps not make the areas stink. Also, like none of my neighbors even they're just like, "Wow, I can't believe that you have this many animals, especially," and it just doesn't stink and smell like a farm. It smells normal and clean, woodsy around here, not like you would think if somebody had 60 hogs in their backyard. Yeah.
A lot of work, man.
Yeah,
What?
they go through a ton of grain a week right now.
Damn.
Yeah, whole ton. Thank goodness like prices are down a little bit for the summer wise and being abundance of a lot of, the corn people are relaxed now they've made it through the winter, but at one time prices were up over 500 per ton. And I was going through that weekly, man. That shit's expensive. And you gotta really get on like the schedule of trying to push the product to the people. I schedule monthly butcher dates so that I bring in every single month towards the middle of the month. I think the 12th usually. This next one that I do in July, I think is the 15th, where people can like pre-reserve. I'll post on my page. They can like DM me, call me. My number's out there everywhere now. I've been passing tons of cards out. And, starting to. I just got a Tree Street packaging to make me some rolling papers. I'll be handing out 3 packs of rolling papers with my number on it, and uh, you know, half and whole hogs for sale. So it's easier to do it that way, so that people can uh, go through the reservations sheet of like saying how they want things packaged, like as in like if you want bratwurst made or chorizo made or breakfast sausage, um, how you want your pork chops cut, smoked or unsmoked. Just go and break down the whole process of uh, cutting that hog down into packaging and smoking it and preparing it for you to put in your freezer and enjoy throughout the months, to barbecue or to have for family meals, put in your crock pots in the oven. That's my favorite is we eat a lot of like crock pot meals because it's just nice to be able to take that smoked meats and put it right in the crock pot with, carrots, hams, carrots, potatoes, onions, anything, and set it and forget it. And usually done towards the next day or the evening. So it's a nice process to be able to fill your freezer and just go right to your freezer throughout the months and not have to go to the store every single day to have a meats for your meal.
What is like the what does say a half hog go for these days?
Uh,
Current price. I understand things fluctuate.
yep, it's a heritage hog, so that's what really uh deciphers the price, it being have to raise for 22 months and possibly even longer depending on how you can get in to the butcher. So they're slow growing Mangalista breed that's imported from Hungary, uh known for their fat lard contents and like flavor and vitamins and oil contents. So that being said, they're not a commercial pig that is like a pink raised in a barn. Uh, they're like super premium price. Whole hog usually brings on like the meat side is usually about $800, and then on my butcher side, because it's a two-part process, it's all USDA approved, clean processing. I bring a live animal to my butcher in a trailer, and they inspect it to make sure that it's quality, and they look at the organs once it is dispatched to make sure that it doesn't have any like types of diseases throughout its organs, and they inspect the meats and stuff like that, and that uh process too, you're gonna pay on a whole like 200 to 250 pound hanging hog. It's usually between like 400-ish on that processing to them, depending on what all you have it cut into. Because the smoking products, that's like premium price because it takes that much more work to take those like hams, brine them, smoke them, and then package them. It takes you usually an extra 2 weeks, you know, cold cure smoking and all that compared to just cutting raw cuts. And it's like 50 cents a pound for raw cuts, and then I think it goes upwards of $2 plus a pound for things like cheddar, jalapeno bratwurst. Those are some of our huge staples. Those are just they go quick. It's a Wisconsin uh, low melt point cheddar, super high grade quality cheddar with uh, jalapenos chopped through it. They're not like super hot. They take a lot of the seeds out, I would say, because they're not like super spicy. People love those. We do uh, Italian bratwurst, Polish brats. We've even had orders for cherry brats. Being up here, it's pretty cool to have a local. That's what they wanted to have. Cherry brats was the first one that we had made. Um, our favorite is chorizo on the farm. That's a staple here, man. I always got to have some chorizo in the freezer. It's like a heavy ground chorizo, not like a super like thin like that you would see at more normal like chain grocery stores in like a tube where it's like super soft and like it's good, I guess, if you were to like put it into eggs and stuff like that. It's so different the way that they make my chorizo. It's a heavier type, almost like a breakfast sausage, but with peppers, cayenne flavor. You know what I mean? It's not like super spicy, but it's got a nice kick to it. And we'll use that in other dishes, like mix that chorizo in with beef. Anytime we have like uh, beef, as in ground, we'll make like meatloafs mixed with that chorizo. Put onions in that, man. So damn good. Unreal. Getting hungry now.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, that chorizo is like our staple in the breakfast too, and the biscuits and gravy. That gives it that extra kick too. We always put a little bit of extra chorizo in with the breakfast sausage and the fresh ground hog meat. Yeah, they can't get enough of the biscuits and gravy. That's definitely a staple at any events that we've done for breakfast. I think that we'll probably almost be able to start serving that all day, all night at events, man. People would, they would love to have biscuits and gravy throughout the evening hot.
Oh yeah, people love biscuits and gravies for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we can never cook enough of that stuff, man.
I
Like,
thought the bratwurst was really good too. And both items I had with the soup and I had the bratwurst that night. I ate them both. I actually had a bratwurst. I turned around and fucking had a whole cup of soup, and
oh
I
yeah.
was stuffed till like halfway through the next day. I'm like, man, that soup really stuck, man. It
Yeah.
was it was good. It was really good.
Yep. Yeah, it gets thicker through the days too. Like if you don't eat it the first day, it just gets thicker and thicker in the crock pot.
Good bean soup, man. So
Yeah, we made uh pork chop sandwiches, breaded pork chop sandwiches for that one that were a real big hit. And we've done quite a few actual like pulled pork. I got a infrared rotisserie cooker that we can roast a whole hog at a time in there, and it just falls apart, man. It's like set it, forget it. It's all propane powered, stainless steel, and that thing just amazing. It just literally like makes the whole cooks it for the bone and everything just falls apart on it and it keeps it juicy and flavorful. I'll like usually brown sugar it and like baste it as I'm cooking it through the whole time. And we'll shred it out. It takes usually about 14 hours to slow cook it in there. And we'll shred it pre, going to the event so that we're not having the mess on site and basically, cater it that way. We found it being the best, cleanest way and not eating a lot of the dust from doing it on site. I've done that being cooked right on site, and it's just such a messy job. So I like doing all that at home where you can really use good hot water to sanitize.
have you ever thought about maybe potting on like a cannabis pig roast?
At my place here.
Anywhere. Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah, dude,
What?
I've been in the works actually like putting together process of clearing an area that I'm gonna have a nice little event myself and the community and people to come here and check out the farm and see the hogs and see the lifestyle that I live here on the farm. Uh, Roast some hogs up and cook the food and hook everybody up, have a good time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess a couple of things here, man. I've always thought it'd be a cool idea to take the pucks from pressing rosin and use them in the smoking process because I fuck around. I like to cook too, and I think it'd be cool to use those chips in the smoker. In this case, I think it'd be even cooler if or even if it would be possible to use them in the pig roasting process. Do you prefer? How do you cook your pig? You cook it in ground? How do you
Oh,
cook?
that stainless steel cooker, man. That it's all infrared stainless steel. It's got like grates that opens right up like a clamshell. I pull it right off there,
A whole
and
pig?
a whole pig, dude. Like I can literally put like a 250-pound whole pig in there. That's the last Big Cloud event. I cooked like about a 200-pound all clean pig in there. It was like perfect. It's pretty badass. It's big, man. And it's all stainless steel. In the back of it, it's got like literally like these infrared bars that are all propane powered, and it like keeps it consistently just under 300 degrees.
That's pretty badass. Sorry, I
Low and
missed out on that.
yeah, dude. Once you see it, like I actually just did for that Big Cloud event, I did like a clip of me setting that hog that I roasted in there. I set it in that cooker on my page, a clip of it, and that was so good. I first this was the first time that I actually sprayed it throughout the whole process. So with apple juice, uh, if I could find apple cider this next time, I'd try it with apple cider. But I did it with uh, apple juice throughout the whole time, and it was nice. It was a good flavor.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I always enjoy a good pig roast.
Hmm. Yeah, it's nostalgia, man. Like brings the people together too. You're gonna have a lot of food and a good time.
Oh, oh, yeah. Good food. Good food.
Like,
It's funny you do say the nostalgia about it because and pig roast to me is a very nostalgic experience. I remember my dad dragging me around the pig roast to pig roast.
yep,
Yeah, fuck yeah, always good times.
yeah. They were always like partying days for me, like throughout the younger years. It was always beer drinking. Anytime there was a pig roast, it always had to revolve around alcohol. So it's kind of different nowadays too. Like I don't I don't go to any areas or any places drinking is involved. So it's so different now. It's all about smoking. That you know what I mean. My consumption is cannabis, and it's a different level of maintaining also. Like there's not really anything that I couldn't do function about, you know, on cannabis is like my normal way of life.
Oh, I smoke weed from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, and I can function doing anything
Yeah.
100%. Doesn't affect my work at all. I think I work well throughout my day. I can put it down if I don't need it, but
Right.
I'm more productive, you know,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. You're more focused on what you're doing, your task at hand.
Well, basically, you can't think. It's harder to think about the task at hand if you're in fucking pain, flat out. You know,
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
there's
man.
been days, man, where I fucking have been on that ride to work, lower back fucking killing me, going, man, this day's gonna suck. Get halfway through that joint, you're like,
Yep. If I could just
I'm
maintain
rolling.
this.
I'm ready to roll. Yep, I'm ready to roll. Let's do this. Fuck yeah. Cannabis gets shit done. That's one of the things too. I think it's a fucking fucked up myth that cannabis users are fucking lazy, man. Anybody I have ever met in the cannabis industry is a fucking hustler. Fucking running on next to no sleep and shit like that. Fucking doing what they love and just, doing anything they can do to just continue to do what they love. All
Yep.
right. That ain't an easy life at some points, man.
If they got a passion for it, you know what I mean? There's definitely people that use it differently than others. You know,
Where'd you get that ink, man? You got pretty sweet sleeve going there.
years of collection, man. Like a lot of it in college days too. Like as you see, most of it's on this arm. A lot of the fill stuff I did by myself, learning through college and stuff like that. That's how I paid for my room and board all through college years while I was learning to paint cars and do fabrication work. So uh, some of it's self-inflicted, and then some's just picking up throughout going around different states and area local Traverse City guys. My very first tattoo was like across my back, my last name, just as like that, right there to my dad. That was like my number one thing that he always told me. He's like, as soon as you get a tattoo, like that's like number one, you're done, of in the home style, like it's you're out on your own in the world. So it was like, yeah, that's I'm gonna put it right on my shoulder. So now it's, all on me.
Jersey style, huh?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's cool, man. I dig it. I
Yeah,
fucking
I
dig
love
it.
and I love I haven't had any ink done in a couple years. I'm ready to get some more done here real soon.
So do you do ink? Were you an artist at one point?
At one point I definitely did quite a few of my friends, family, and uh definitely college classmates tattoos. Um Recent, it's been like probably a good 10 years since I've done a tattoo, and I don't ever plan on really getting back into that. It's not my passion is growing and the plants, man, and producing food. That's number one to me really is like being able to provide the us to like my own family as in quality meats. That's number one. But being able to pass the beneficiaries of the community with extra animals, that's nice.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. What do you get fixing the dab on there?
Hmm. I think for nighttime, I think I might hit this the duck confit with the duck confit. It's got the big cat in there, GMO funkiness. You better hit some of that. You got a dab rig? You want to hit a rig?
Go ahead, my friend. I'm not opposed to dabs. I'm not handy right now with the dabs, but to each their own. I'll hit this joint. Yeah.
I got this rig at the last Big Cloud event. It was a collab between I think 4 different artists there working on it.
What's the next event you'll be at, man?
Uh Definitely the next Legacy Big Cloud event. Uh we should have everything all in order with our trailer and being able to serve the people out of our food truck trailer that we just put together. And that will be mid-July, I think. And then the next one after that, we're going to be doing Terps and Tents, which is uh, the 28th and the 30th through Walkerville. That's through No Bad Days and the Mad Hatter.
I like both of those names anyway. No bad days, man.
Yeah, and you know who I'm talking about, Kate and Rich.
No, I don't. I've heard of the No Bad Days, but it doesn't.
Dude, her edibles are top shelf. Like, I really like the brownies and miscellaneous that she does, man. They definitely all slap. I haven't had any edibles that I didn't get definitely medicated off of. She had
I'll
a
I'll see you at the Legacy Cup. That's for sure.
okay, heck yeah.
There, that'll be a fun event, man. There's gonna be a lot of cool people there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, that one's gonna be off the chain, man. I hope to see some of the show and get close enough that I get to hear some of the music.
Yeah, it'll be another Mendo Dope. Will be there for that.
Yeah.
I will be there trying to cover a good portion of it, live stream of it. So what you may miss, hopefully I will catch and have it logged on the channel for you to go back and watch, my friend.
Heck yeah. Especially if you get that I think it's immersive. He's a DJ artist that goes hardcore, man. I like uh I like the EDM style type music also. It's just motivational, like really like gets you upbeat and going.
Right now.
I listen to a lot of like cultural reggae, positive style music nowadays compared to stuff that's like more rageful and screamo type, you know. You change as you grow into different genres of music and it actually affects your different vibrations in the way that you out portray yourself also to people.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wish we could have some more events in northern Michigan. We need so we started off with Luzerne with the Bigfoot events there a couple of years in a row, and I was really hoping that was going to be more of an annual thing, and then things went straight back down south to southern Michigan. Gems and Genetics, of course, has been a little bit of a blessing, at least a halfway point.
Yep. Yeah,
But
that's a great location too.
oh yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it 100%. That was my first experience at there, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wasn't uh locked in to do that one there early, and it just happened to be like at last minute that I decided to do that one. I've been there quite a few times, and it definitely got definitely bigger through this one being uh that you know you got Josh Heinrichs and is built into the production that it is now. It's great, man. The people that performances that put on the shows that they did at that last event there was definitely top shelf people too. And it's just building.
Right. Yeah, the Pink Floyd there cover band was really cool. The Laser Light Show, good time.
Yeah, people loved it.
I like the fucking camping events. It's one of the things I love the events, but they don't. It's just kind of my opinion. This is my opinion, MorGanja. Just my opinion. But I'm a community guy, man. I like to go to these events. There's so much cannabis, good food, and bullshit that I feel like a lot of these events want to just streamline, the people kind of through instead of inviting them in.
To stay.
Yeah, giving them a place to hang out, you know what I mean? Go back and forth to some of these booths and shit like that. But
Yeah,
the
that's
camping
what.
helps a little bit with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what this Terps and Tents gonna be, man. This definitely more of a communal, like hangout spot, camping vibe. That's what I like more too. Like, because nobody wants to just fucking, especially if you want to consume on site. Nobody wants to just get blasted and then just jump right in their shit to drive back home. That just kills the whole vibe.
Right on. Well, this last event from at the Gems, they did provide, and I thought that was cool because I don't see that at a lot of events. They did have a nice tent for people to sit down and hang out, you know. But there needs to be more of that. If we would have banged on that event, they would have needed probably like four of those, in my opinion, to have nice shade area to make people comfortable and hang out. Luckily, we had the campground. It was nice to go hang out at the campsite and then wander back through and see what was going on, catch a bite to eat, and wander back, smoke a bunch of weed, and hang out with your friends and shit. Much
Yep,
better vibe. I had a great time at the Jumps the next last event, 100%.
definitely.
Northern Michigan needs one though. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we had an event out at I can't think of the name of there. It's they have the Dunes Grass festivals there. Dunesville grounds, Harmony Farm, I think that it's called. We had an event there. It was pretty nice. Just takes a lot of production, you know what I mean? A lot of that uh back infrastructure money to make sure that like tent to pay for the porta potties, because that's a big thing, is the crew, man. Having the right crew for an event to keep the grounds clear, clean, making sure that everything's taken care of, that there's not trash everywhere. We want to have a nice clean event. And I would say the porta johns is number one thing to have lots of those, and the people that come around consistently to keep them clean.
They've done pretty good so far. Most of the events I've been at, I've been pretty impressed about the way they've been handled.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is any northern Michigan events being planned. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some metric ones somewhere, but
We've got such a beautiful area up here, man. It was shitty that we're kind of wasting it. The Bigfoot event there in Luzerne was a perfect area there. They actually had that was a cool event because they offered it mainly to like the vendors, but if you knew about it, you could do it too. And that was so you could camp and hang out for the weekend. And then when like the event was kind of over, everybody went and fucking tubed down the fucking river. And then they picked you up and dropped you off at your car. You said goodbye to everybody. But you partied all the way down the river once it was all said and done. Nothing to worry about and shit.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's a good
Yeah,
time in Michigan, man.
yeah, this area right here, I'm like super close to the Platte River. It would be a great area to canoe right down to and go through with that. Yeah, this would be a great area to do that. But I would highly advise not smoking on the rivers, because that is a federal and whole different ball game of DNR catching you. You just think you're laid back, chilling, smoking in your two, whatever. You just get hammered with some fine for that shit here, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. I've heard way too many horror stories on the Platte River of people getting fines for consuming.
That's kind of sucky.
Yeah,
Nature's one of the best places to consume.
exactly. They ruin all the fun in it. It's not like that you're causing any harm or anything, but it's just the fact that it's uh federal property, federal land, the rivers and the lakes, and it's all different. They got different jurisdiction.
through that. So what kind of type products do you put out there as far as cannabis goes? I've heard you say some salves and stuff like that. Are they just personal use? Or you help?
Everything's all personal, like for my patient use wise, as in like salves, flowers, rosin, uh, edibles. I like to consume it all.
Right on.
That's what it's all for, man. Is like for self consumption, and I'm not at the big step of being able to be metric yet.
Yeah, I know. Michigan, that sucks. Michigan, it's made it so hard to play legally. So many of us would love to fucking play if they would just make it a fucking a little bit easier on us and let us in, say farmers markets and shit.
Yeah, exactly. The farmers market is the way to go, and uh micro grows, as in like that's what my farm would be perfectly for, is something under, definitely under 1,000 plants, because I wouldn't even want to manage that myself. um and I could do lots of great work with that, compared to some of these places that are pushing out 5,000, 10,000, stuff like that. It's mass production, and they're losing the like quality that I would demand and want to consume. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of good organic levels that are producing huge, fields and stuff like that, but that's a lot of work without being, remediated and all that shit. No, thank you. That's number one too. Is none of that stuff would ever be acceptable. It's always got to be clean living style.
Question from Chad earlier that they wanted to know how long you've been working on them dreads, man.
I think it's been over 10 years since I've cut my hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been over 10 years for sure.
right on, man.
Really like keep like years on it. It's just a journey, man. It's definitely been a journey and a testament. That's the way I look at it all. Like this is all like a daily like testament that we go through to test us, and it's heat, and it's like weighing down on me. It's a lot to handle each day. There isn't a day that goes by that thought process is like, oh, when you gonna cut that, or like when you gonna do this. It's
That's your call, brother.
yeah,
Believe it or not, man, before this, hair down to my ass, man. That's it. Fucking, it went from that to this all in an instant. I just never looked back, man. I can't even picture. It'd be probably weird to see me with hair now after being, bald for so long. But
you always just gave it, or does it naturally?
oh God, no, I shaved that shit.
Yeah,
Long
yeah.
hair.
I love that feeling too, like of shaved down like that, like Bic razor. That's I used to always shave my head like during high school days. Wrestling, man. That's like every year for wrestling. That was my favorite, just to shave it so short. Just you know what I mean?
Well, wait.
I wrestled 103, 112, 124. And I didn't actually like even start like gaining good mass and heavy weight, or I'm 160 until after I was like 21, man. I always was super small.
I wrestled as well. That's why last night's guest fucking wrestled too. Can't
Yeah,
allow us in the ladies last 2 nights, man. Okay, cool. He tattooed as well. Another
yeah.
coincidence as well.
Wild men. We're wild men. That's it, man. Living the life, loving it.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Live hard, play hard, man. Every time I go into fucking, I fuck something up, man. They go, I've never seen somebody this fucked up at your age. You know what I mean? Well, younger age when I was fucking shit up. I should say that. When I was younger and fucked things up, I was like, God damn, man. I'm like, well, yeah,
Playing hard.
yeah, fucking, yeah. These days, man, the heal up's pretty good, man. With the doctors, they kind of encourage it when you come right back and be like, yeah, man, I didn't think I was gonna come back from that one. I'm going back in. Yeah. So what do you do to timid to calm that feeling these days, my friend? You can't just put it to rest, man. You gotta have something. You still do your any jujitsu or anything like that, or
I really haven't trained in shit, probably like fucking 5 years. It's just all like just yard work and doing the farming, man. It's just never ending chore from sun up to sundown of taking care of the plants and the uh animals. So it's like I really don't have a lot of other life other than that daily chores.
how long were you in Flint?
Only a few years, man. I still got family that live down that way too, but really young. I moved up here really young. Thank goodness. Probably kept me out of a lot of trouble that way too. Kind of live a sheltered lifestyle up this way compared to city life.
Not a bad thing, man.
Yeah, my parents were definitely smart about that, and it's a good thing what they did get up here.
I come from the Genesee County area originally myself, and have migrated up to the northern Michigan, and kind of debated on a remove recently, and I'm like, man, there's nothing after living up here, man. There's like nothing down there that interests me as far as like city life. I was just down in Bloomington Hills for a couple days, and I'm like, fuck this. I even told one of the guys working for him, man. I was like, fuck this, man. I don't know how you guys do this, man. I can't wait to get back up into the fucking sticks and we fucking calm shit. He was even telling me they've got a house in up here. I'm in Holton Lake currently. I was in Roscommon for a few years, but that's where I'm at currently. We got one up here, got one down there. Don't want we've kind of got to get rid of one. Don't know which one. I'm like, the busyness, the 4-lane fucking streets, that bumper to bumper, or fucking hanging out in the country with the slow, relaxed pace. This should be a no-brainer, dude. Fucking get the fuck out of the city. Damn.
You know,
Yeah.
that nothing but fast paced lifestyle down there, man.
Mm.
The hustle and bustle.
Life moves fast enough, man. It really does. Much less to add to that city life intensity, man. The bumper to bumper traffic, the added stress. Just that there can be, just bad vibes, man. You know what I mean? You kind of mentioned that about the music and shit like that, but man, people's vibes are very catchy, and sometimes
Yeah.
that rhythm can carry. You know what I mean? Shit days can be bad and go bad, and that seemed to be the case while I was down there the other day, man. Fucking, it just seemed to be a shitty kind of fucking shitty vibe Monday, man. And yeah, couldn't wait to get back to the sticks.
Yeah, the city's got a whole different like vibration and beat to it.
Growing any garden food this year? Do you grow?
um, I usually do put in tomatoes and all types of good stuff like that. But my girlfriend and her daughter's been doing the vegetable gardens while I handle the cannabis side of things.
I mean, you can't do it all, my friend.
Yeah, it's you got to help each other out and stuff. But definitely, I have more of a passion for the cannabis plants than anything else. That's number one to me. It's so weird too, like if to take a break and not be cultivated at all. Like it's like a part of your inner being of not being around that plant. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm on a kind of hiatus right now. I've been growing since fucking 99. I haven't had any plants in the dirt now for a couple months and fucking yeah, shitty. But look, I feel lost. Everything you just described and then some, my friend. I can completely relate. Well,
Yeah, exactly. You feel lost. You like your meaning of your passion, and it's like your art if you're not doing art.
so true. So true. I'm glad you understand my pain. That's fucking for real, dude. That's fucking yeah. I can't wait to get back to growing some monsters. So what's the favorite thing you got in your garden right now? What's the best thing you got going on? I know it's hard to say when you got a bunch
I'm
of
definitely looking forward to that Bubba Kush. That's I haven't bloomed any of that out yet. I've just been cloning it and training it and getting ready to do a bloom on that stuff. But I'm really looking forward to that pre 98 Bubba Kush. I've grown it before and it's special. It's like my terpene that I really gravitate to. I definitely need to restart some more of those seeds of that Grabana though. That Grabana is something special too. Kurt
Sure.
Wizard,
Yeah.
yeah, he hooked me up with some more hacks of this one, and it's super special, man. I don't know how well you can see the picture or the look of it, but it's nice.
Ah, fuck yeah, that shit. I just gifted some flour from them guys at the organic cup. And that shit was beautiful. It was funny. It was like everybody I showed it to, that was their first reaction. It was, you know, beautiful on the nose, but just to look at the flower, it was fucking beautiful. You know, first reaction, I open it up. I handed it to a good friend of mine, Smiley's Garden. First thing he said, "That's beautiful, beautiful." Yeah,
Yeah,
that is something nice they got going.
it definitely shows through when you have a passion for the plant and you put your all in, you know, finding what works the best for it and finding new uh substrates and substances that they like to consume. You know, there's so much different ferments and amazing goodness out there to brew up and feed your plants that bring out different terpenes and different flavonoids.
What is your personal favorite flavor profile?
Definitely more like a gassy, sour. I really like the sour stuff. The myrcene, myceline. I'm not sure exactly if I'm saying it right, but that's definitely like my go-to type terpene. Um, I don't know. I really like that Grabana. That's stuff I just dabbed is kind of fruity and funky. I like it all, man. It's I love having a variety. That's what the fruit of life is, the variety, especially with cannabis. That's what's so great about it. That when you can have multiple strains and get to taste each one and the kid in the candy store.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. You say you got like 20 going now?
Oh yeah, at least 20 strains.
That's awesome.
Uh, and most of them are all off seed too. Hunt through them and
You go
uh,
see Peru? straight soil when you're
What's
out?
that?
You go see the soil, straight soil outdoors.
Yeah, in the ground. That's I like it does a whole different like flavor and density to the plant and whole different structure to the plant when you go directly in the ground compared to pots. And the structure of the bud, everything is so different. Uh, my ground is really uh, heavily manured and uh, ureaed from the hogs being in those areas, like transitioning through the soils and stuff like that. So just gives a whole different like flavor complex to the plant itself compared to being in a pot. You can definitely tell the difference side by side. I've grown both ways, outdoors in pots with just like, bought living soil mixed and not my actual native soil. In my native soil, man, the plants do such a different thing because of all the minerals being like old ancient forest beds and dunes, being up here with all the glacial rocks and all that stuff. There's definitely a lot of minerals in that sand that people pass off and they don't realize that the plants actually are using that stuff too.
That made I was gonna ask you there if you guys had a lot of sand.
Yeah,
It's northern Michigan's pretty fucking sandy. And I was
yeah,
if we had to initially do some building of the ground, the soil around you before you could actually get going.
yeah. I try to always bring in every year that I do outdoors, add more, you know, mixed soils too, and composts and uh, manures from like alpaca and different things like that. Always adding more into it. I use a lot of worm castings. Uh, that's like my number one go-to. I like to try to put like literally wheelbarrow loads of worm castings on every single plant outdoors.
Are you producing your own?
No, I actually got the hookups with buddies. I got a couple different sources where I get truckloads. I definitely pay for it, but I get truckloads at a time of worm castings.
Or,
Yeah, it's their waste, and one of the guys, he's like huge producer for fishermen for worms. So he's got a major abundance of castings.
it's nice to have a hookup like that, I'd say.
Yeah, it's gold, man. It's gold for your plants and your soil. It's amazing, like how far that my soil has came from initial starting of where my greenhouses are. It was originally horse pasture for years and years. Started off the whole area before the horse pasture was put in there. It was all trees that were cleared, all maple, cherry, all types of trees through there, solid hardwoods. So that, you know, those trees grew well in that soil for hundreds of years.
Composting themselves every year with them falling leaves. Beautiful system nature has for itself.
Yeah, definitely fungal culture and all that stuff in there. We get lots of different types of uh, mushrooms that grow throughout my property of, morels, chanterelles, all types of stuff.
Oh yeah. I wish I was more proficient on mushroom identifying there. You know, they're definitely very municipal, very these days, and I'm more becoming more and more interested in the use of them. To be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. I try to take lion's mane mushrooms with chaga, cordyceps. Rishi's pretty much every day, turkey tail. It definitely helps with like energy and cognitive thinking and process of just being able to recover too from the daily's beat down. They I, they definitely give me a lot of energy throughout the day of being able to take those types of mushrooms. I get them already prepackaged mostly through like Ohm ground powder capsules. I can tell the difference if I don't, and honey. I like to eat a ton of local honey. That's number one. It's dude, huge on health benefits.
I agree. Spoonfuls.
Nope. Yeah, I put it in my right.
I didn't drop the honey. It was just a lighter. Yeah. Yeah. People, I think, underestimate the power of honey, to be honest with you, man. Sore throat, cough, just a good fucking immune system builder. It's awesome. It took me later in life to figure shit like that out, man. Natural remedies and
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely throughout the month or throughout the summer, at least once to twice a month, we'll be trying to get out to events. Not sure which one the next one is, but we'll be posting it on the page. So stay tuned to that and be able to find us throughout the state, cooking it up.
I can't wait for the next time we cross paths, my friend. Hopefully you got some more of that bean soup because that shit was delicious.
We'll always make sure.
Right on.
Yeah, it's nice that, especially at nighttime when getting cool out and you get a nice hot cup of soup, you can walk around and finish eating that, and it warms you back up. You know,
For sure. Any new you guys gonna any new additions to the menu or any new considerations?
I've definitely been putting together a list of some cool things to start serving out, especially for this big cloud event. That'll be a little bit different. I know how people like the breakfast style stuff with the biscuits and gravy and all that stuff. We're gonna bring something unique and special too.
Shit, you got the keys to what something everybody loves. Fucking bacon, man.
Yeah, that
Everybody loves bacon. I don't care if you're like health conscious or not. People love fucking bacon.
yep.
Thick cut bacon. One of the best things I've ever had at a fucking cannabis event was it was tortured. Literally tortured. I don't know if you know this, but I was good friends with some. And at one point was the Michigan rep for some cool seeds, TGA. And I was boothed at one of these events here in Clio, and across from me was some medicated bacon stand, and they had like thick cut bacon on a stick that was probably it was, I want to say like 3/8 to half-inch thick. It was thick cut, and they had medicated sauce put on that shit, whatever, they had teriyaki. Nonetheless, the fucking wind was at their back all day, blowing in my face. And that is obviously one of my weak points is like fucking bacon. But we were tormented. They had a line all day long. We had a line all day long. Neither one, we couldn't take a break to fucking get over there. But they were nice enough at the end of the day to go, we know we've been torturing you all day. Here you go. Here's the fucking bacon. They fucking hooked
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yes. Just saying, since you got the pigs, I'm sure.
We slay it on that too. We usually cook at least, I'd say 25 plus, to 35 pounds of bacon every event. Yeah, it's all nitrate, sulfate free, cured in the celery powder, vegetable juice brine. So damn good. Yeah, I've been told many times that hands down that our bacon is the best bacon that people have ever had. It's that the oil content consistent with the meat and all, like it's some really good bacon, man.
I was literally laughing at I had some an eye problem lately. And my eye doctor, the guy I've been fucking seeing he's been on the carnivore diet, basically. And 2 times I've been in there, that cat's fucking literally had plates of bacon. That's just like, yeah, yeah, I don't eat nothing but meat right now. And you just like, dude, all you smell it. He's like, yeah, I just ate a pound of bacon.
Oh yeah.
Man. Hey, look, that's thick cut ass bacon. Right?
Yeah, super nice thick. All this stuff crisped up, really nice, super flavorful, man. This is what the raw ground sausage is. I've been getting these in like bulk packs like this so when we do the biscuits and gravy, so I don't have to cut open on a 1 pound little pack. So it's like a 5 pound, 5 pound pack. But look at that color on that, man. That's all just raw ground hog, everything in there. It's got like probably chops mixed in it, steaks mixed in it. Some of them, if I'll bring in, say, an extra couple that I end up paying for out of my pocket and they're smaller hogs, I'll be like, oh, just smoke the bacons, take the bacons out and smoke that stuff. And then everything else, like strip the whole hog and grind that stuff up. So you're getting to eat steak, pork chop, loin, all that mixed in through what would be the breakfast sausage or the large bulk like that to fry up and put in the biscuits and gravy. Super good.
To me, man, pork is the barbecue meat. Barbecue sauce and pork were made for each other. Just 100%. Do you have I guess that's a good question. Most people that do some like I would think pulled pork work or like that have a barbecue sauce or something like that they're fancy to or made. Do you have your own recipe or do you have a favorite sauce to pair?
I've definitely like mixed it up anytime that I do the uh pulled pork. I make my own, do like a Dr. Pepper base with uh molasses and sweet baby rays also, and simmer that stuff down in slow cooker and stuff like that. But I love sweet baby rays. If I can't mix it up and make my own type of base, it's always go right to sweet baby rays original.
Fucking the sauce is the boss.
Yep.
I like the onion myself.
Yeah, that's good too. We use a lot of the onion bagels. I mean buns, get the big Kaiser onion rolls when you do the pulled pork, man. Damn, that makes it.
Yeah, now you definitely get me hungry, man.
Oh, we're gonna definitely be doing some roast throughout the summer, and I would say mid-August at least we'll definitely put together some type of backyard barbecue, the old backyard boogie.
You end up doing a roasting event up here in northern Michigan, man. And please let me know. I'll come hang out, man. I definitely want fucking some barbecue or pig roast for 100%.
Yeah,
I'd love to see the farm. That'd be cool as well.
welcome anytime. We're trying to put together a area that it can be like a hip camp throughout my property, be able to camp and check the pigs out, check the farm animals out, stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's be nice. I got quite of areas out there that could be cleared into like campsites for people to be spread out throughout the properties.
I was joking the other day. It was no joke, man. It actually happened back before things were fucking politically correct and had rules. Where I grew up, once a year during like the homecoming parade and that little carnival and shit, we had pig wrestling contest. 4 and 2 man teams. Fucking, you had to catch and put that pig on the barrel.
That's funny.
Oh man, it ain't easy. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever wrestled one of those pigs? That's it.
Oh, yeah. I bet you that's a riot watching that.
Why it's I don't know. They won't allow that. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, man. I don't even know if they still do that shit. But it was the thing in my hometown.
Yeah. They have it in like a caged in area. Like it's, got your small area that's
They would put up like a wood like lath fence, and then they would pile up hay barrels or hay bales around that to secure that in. And then the local fire department would come in and just fucking soak that ground to where it was all fucking mud. And they'd fucking put a barrel in the center of that was wrapped with fucking, padding for the pig, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'd set the pig loose in there with fucking people you had like squared off in that little circle, and you had fucking 4 minutes. 4 minutes to catch that fucking pig and put him on that barrel. Fastest time won. And always fucking good times, man. That's fucking.
I bet you that shit's hilarious.
Oh man.
Now you give me ideas that I'm gonna be fucking having a party, in the backyard and shit.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. It ain't easy. I'm telling you, it sounds easier than you think, but it is not fucking easy.
Dude, not these pigs. My pigs will fight you tooth and nail. These motherfuckers being a whole different heritage breed. They're wild, poor creatures compared to like some pink, commercial pig. These motherfuckers will fight tooth and nail.
So are they? How are they? I was like, I never realized lately until I heard you like talking about like setting them loose and like them turning up stuff. Up until like I heard about like the feral pig problem in Michigan, which I was like kind of blown away about. I didn't even realize that it was a problem, or they could like come into your yard and like fucking trench shit up overnight, just like totally tear shit up. I didn't even think that was a thing.
Yeah, if they get out, especially if there's quite a few of them, they tear some areas up real quick.
Yeah.
So I heavily use like the steel fencing and not just rely on a hot wire. And I especially with my boar hog, man, that dude's in like a double fenced in caged area with like barn steel fencing in layers because he's just such a monster trying to get to the girls, man. That's their main goal, is to continuously be breeding.
Pretty awesome. Do you sell like stock?
No, I got away from doing sales of piglets. A lot of people do want to buy piglets, but it like detours the sales of the meat wise once everybody has the same genetics and the same, they're doing the exact same thing you are. I try to just mostly stay on sales of meat and keeping it by the half or whole and trying to stay away from small single packs. But it definitely pays to just do it out of pocket with the packs too, because people they can't afford to drop that much on a half or a whole. So at times I do like be able to butcher and hook people up on just bacon. Say, you know what I mean? Hey, I need 5 pounds of bacon. You know, it's there.
Yeah, I love thick cut bacon, man. I've always been a fan of like the ends and pieces. Kind of the bacon you showed just a minute ago looked like some good ass bacon, but
Yeah, they like fold that in half is what they do in there. Like so doesn't take up so much room. Once they like as they vacuum it, they fold it all in half. Then like when you unthaw it, you just peel it off there, lay it down in your pan. Such an awesome grease too that comes off of that stuff to be able to fry your eggs and fry other things in. It's very nutritious instead of using seed oils and palm kernel oils and all the stuff that they try to push on people nowadays when they say that animal fats are bad for you when it's totally
okay. Best chicken sandwich. This is how I make a good chicken sandwich. This is
yeah
serious. Yeah.
yeah
I
bacon.
fucking bacon. I cook my bacon first, and then I take that fucking grease and I'll pound out a fucking chicken breast to when it's about like 3/4 thick, and then I'll fucking fry that in the bacon grease. You know, fucking flip it each side till it's got a nice little crisp, and then fucking bacon, chicken, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato. Oh, provolone cheese or not provolone. Damn, Munster cheese,
I love Munster.
fucking cheese, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and that is fucking probably the best chicken sandwich I ever had. But I always credit the good part of that to being frying the fucking chicken breast in that bacon grease.
100.
Yeah,
And everything that we do at the events, it's all cooked in the bacon grease.
good shit. Fried potatoes too is another good cook in the bacon grease.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be doing home cut French fries. I just got a big old commercial chopper, so I can do like 5 gallon buckets at a time with French fries and fry them in the rendered down lard. I save the back fat lard and render that stuff in like a big uh, kettle cooker, and then I'll be able to fry the French fries in that, and it'll literally taste just like bacon French fries topped with some bacon and cheese. Now we're munchies.
Sounds so good, man. Yeah. I was borderline hungry before, but I'll be throwing down after this episode.
For sure. I got cotton mouth like all hell. That's all I got, man. Them dabs freaking.
It happens. It happens. Let's see here. So you're done with sports? I mean, it's always so hard to say wrap it up, man, with the intense thrill stuff, man. I'm a little bit of thrill seeker myself, buddy. Knock it off. Sorry, my dog's being a jackass in the back.
I'm
No, I mean, there is. Come on, now. I mean, there's some like parachuting. You ever been parachuting? Would you consider that? Is that still on the fucking?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Uh,
Definitely like skydiving. Those sound like some fun things to do.
right on.
Haven't done that yet.
I'm hoping to myself. That's still on one of my to-do lists. I'll jump out. I'm wanting to jump out of the plane. I've been bungee jumping before, but I've never fucking like did some mountain shit like that. Yeah. I hope you do. Yeah, I hope you do continue to chase some of that. You need some of that once in a while.
Yeah,
And
man.
look back, there ain't nothing like that adrenaline rush. It's better than coffee. Like a week later, think about that shit. You done and like, Keeps you young, my friend.
Yep.
How old are you? Do you mind me asking? You look pretty young.
I think I'm like be 39 this year.
You're still way young.
Yeah, getting gray. That's the gray is really kicking in. I'm sure if I shaved this off, I'd look really young. I haven't shaved my face in I would say like 8, little over 8 years. Just been on the journey of farming, man. The whole different lifestyle of working for yourself and not answering to the man.
There's something really nice about working for yourself, man. Living by your own day, making your own day.
Yeah. You know, definitely got to hustle it and keep pushing it for sure. Because I can tell if I don't like consistently make advertisements and posts on like the sales of meat, I see it definitely fall off in sales. So you really got to market it and push all of it.
Oh shit. What time's your day start? You probably started to break it down.
Yeah, usually outside as the birds are chirping, that's what I really like to hear the come up with the morning starting.
It's a good start to the day.
Yeah. Usually out there doing shit by 8 o'clock early outside at least or earlier.
How long does it take to feed, man? 1,000 a ton. That's a lot of food. How long does it take you to go through and feed every day?
That process isn't really too long, but twice a day I gotta they get their rations of their grains, and that usually takes maybe like 20 minutes of that stuff. Uh, but it's usually all the other things going to like building the fences and changing areas consistently. Using them to clean my land down right now is the great thing. Like once you come and check out the area that I got where I'm probably going to do my event at, have a little get together. It's pretty sweet how they've cleared it. And I'll go through and I'll till that like disc it really well and make sure it's nice and clean. And there won't be any animals on that for at least 2 months prior to. So there won't be people worried about stepping in any type of feces.
Do you rotate where you keep the pigs all on your property to kind of, I think you did say that, kind of keep build up?
Yeah. So it doesn't get mucky and nasty and stinky.
Right on.
Let areas dry up and then regenerate like the growth as in like the uh grasses, like wherever they're at, there's a lot of new growth of different types of grasses because the feeds that they eat and the stuff that I bed them down with, they use a lot of barley. Uh, Barley doesn't hold moisture and it's super good for building microbial culture and just building your soil. So as they eat that and bed down on that in the areas, and then I move them, it regenerates and restarts and grows, and that stuff can get like waist high real quick. Then I'll move them back in there several months later, and they'll eat all that stuff back down.
Helps keep the land clear, hey?
Yeah,
Uh, How many you said? I think you said 60.
Yeah, at our biggest point throughout the winter there, we had like 60. We've been trying to knock it down so it's not so much and uh so high on the feed bills and stuff like that. But being that you gotta raise them for 22 months, a year and a half, you gotta like make sure that you're thinking so much further ahead of how much clientele that I'm gonna be serving and staying on top of that and stuff like that. It definitely could be a lot more each month. I've been having to pay for at least 1 to 2 whole hogs on my butcher list, but it keeps my freezers full and it keeps the product being able to like cook at events. Uh, this next one coming up in July, I think I got a half sold so far, and I'm able to take at least 4 whole hogs in. But
If
I,
somebody is interested in getting a hold of you, I think you said your numbers everywhere, but how did they get a hold of you?
you can give me a call at 231-676-7839. That's my cell number. Order up half or whole hog. You can either find me through Instagram or Facebook, MorGanja Farms, Dave Morgan.
Catering. You guys come out and cater events.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna start really getting into that. We've done that a few times for people and pretty big events. So that's definitely a thing for sure.
Uh, how big of an advance would they need? Would you need, say, for a pig roast?
A couple weeks would be idea within like a couple weeks, 2 3 weeks. A month in advance is great so that I can get them on schedule and get everything all lined up and things all set. Having uh other hands of being able to take care of the daily chores while I'm away doing those events is the biggest thing that I've ran into, is having good help to be able to watch your farm and watch and take care of things when you're out and about, because I can never actually just leave without somebody not here. You, you never know what the hogs are going to do or what's going to happen, so it's always good on hand to always have somebody that can help take care of that.
Purple Thumb says, does he ship bacon to New York? Is shipping out of Michigan a thing?
I haven't shipped any yet, but I'm definitely looking down that avenue and being able to ship out and see what the cost of all that is. Getting it to somebody frozen is the biggest thing, but uh definitely working on that avenue. That would increase the market tremendously, being able to ship it.
Oh, yeah.
On most of my orders I deliver also throughout the state too, in the halves and holes. First 100 miles around circumference around me I usually do free, and then after that it's $1 a mile. I've had quite a few orders from the Flint and past Ann Arbor areas all around the state.
Do you supply any of the local restaurants in your area?
No, not right off anymore. It's just not really a idea for the price margin being such high quality. They can't justify serving that. Most people in the stores, I mean, in a restaurant, they're, it's gonna be like a $25 pork chop or so, high end stuff.
You go out for a good meal, you know what I mean? Sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta treat yourself good. Sometimes
Yep.
once in a while you gotta treat yourself good, man. That's what I say.
Yep. Yeah. Once you get the flavor of this stuff, you see why. You're like, damn, that's different. The oils and the whole consistently is so different than commercial raised. You know, being pink pig, this stuff's like uh heritage. It's 4-way crosses now. I got 4 different breeds that have been hybrid crossing of the Mangalista, the large black, the Tamworth, the Berkshire, all really high end, you know, meat production or lard content, flavorful. Definitely equates to a super quality red meat compared to like a pink meat.
Well, I always wondered why the coloration, different coloration in meat. You know, why is a ham necessarily, darker color than other parts?
Uh, some of them being the brining processes, the different like EQs, different brine that they soak them in, how long they soak it, uh, different breeds of the animal, the way that it's growed with only being fed certain types of things like corn, soybean, that type of stuff. Um, the dirt in general being raised on the dirt and in the woods and all that stuff equates to a whole different flavor and different darkness of the meats also.
I'm whooped.
Uh,
I love
so
brother. Yes. Ah,
yeah, it's already 1:48. Time flew.
it did.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already that late. All right,
Yeah.
I better fucking I'll blast one more dab here. Fucking I'm gonna hop off here and go to bed too.
Hell yeah. Well, a couple things we got to go over before we get out of here. First and foremost, I told you pre-show, I really do appreciate your time, what you do in the community. And I actually trying to build somewhat of a little bit of a community outside the cannabis community, but in the community. Basically, the link I sent you this evening is always good now. Uh, Mondays and Thursdays tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is what I call the Weed Nerd World. The Weed Nerd World is only open to past guests, which is as of now a possibility of 816 people. So if you happen to turn it on, see what we're talking about, want to hang out, want to smoke, no invitation needed at this point. Just hit that fucking link. Come hang out. Talk some shit with us. I always like to hang out with good people. New viewpoints, new conversation points. You may find anything in the weed nerd world. That's what makes up the world. You know what I mean? It can't always be cannabis. Much times we could talk about cannabis. Sometimes we're talking about psychedelics. Sometimes we talk about psychedelics on psychedelics. Sometimes we might be talking conspiracy theories. Sometimes we might just be talking about life. But it, nonetheless, you have to pop it on and be like, fuck yeah, I want to come fucking, I'm bored. I want to fucking come hang out. Please come hang out, man. We love, hanging out with cool people in the community. And as we've learned tonight, a very cool gentleman, 100%. We'd like to hang out with you guys without, very tongue tied. Hang out with you again. Sorry, my friend. Oh, terrible.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, man. It's been a good night, my friend. Like I said, I've been looking forward to speaking with you on a longer format for since the initial base layer, and I thought it'd be a good episode and 100%, man. Great gentleman. I can't wait to hang out with you again first at another event.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to give you a dab. It's always a pleasure to be able to torch one up and pass some terps over to somebody and let them taste some flavors.
I agree.
Cheers.
The other thing I'd like to get from you before you go after your dab is a little thing I call the sound bite. Basically, what I am looking for, my version is something along the lines of this is, hey, this is Eagle, and I'm on fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 816. You can add whatever you want before or after that, as long as it's something pretty close to that. At some point, this will be a commercial for your episode. Whenever you're ready, I am ready, my friend.
Hey, this is MorGanja Farms talking shit with Eagle. Thank you for having me, man. What was that?
Episode 816.
Episode 816.
Hell yeah.
Cheers. Set
Cheers.
drop.
What'd you have that round?
Drop onto the grape cream cake banana OG. Dude, it's so fruity and just sour, funky. That'll be definitely a staple in the garden. That's something special. We're gonna pheno hunt that out, and that'll be around for a while.
Hell yeah.
Both definitely all three forms in the flower, rosin, and the carts. That's gonna be special.
Can't wait.
All right, man. Well, I'll keep in touch with you, and we'll definitely link up at one of the next events for sure. I know this is going to be a great camping event right here. Come check that one out. July.
I will, my friend. I will try my best to remember to send you that link to that Bites episode in the next day or so. I think you'll be pretty interested in what they talk about doing with those roots, my friend. Maybe you never know. You might incorporate that into what you do.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. With that being said, thanks again, MorGanja, for your time. It has been 100% a fun night. For the rest of you guys, thank you for your time as well. Every bit is important. For the rest of you guys, hopefully you guys know the deal by now. Don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness really do save lives. And with that being said, we are out of here. Have a good night, my